Hey guys, it's your favorite Dynabot here, and today we have Can the Justice League Stop the Black Dragon Saga? So, what is the Black Dragon Saga, or the Black Dragon event, right? The Black Dragon event is a combination of various monsters rising up or retreating from their locations because of the coming of Black Fatalis here. So, we're going to see if the Justice League from the DCEU can complete these tasks. They have to do the following: they have to repel Lao-Shan Lung. They have to defeat Miralis. They have to defeat Safi'jiiva. And then they also have to defeat Alatreon. And finally, and obviously, defeat Fatalis. They'll only be using the area that they're in, and they'll only be given information by the guild here. So they'll have time to somewhat formulate a plan here, or they'll basically be going off it by their first encounter. Any weapons in the area they can pretty much use to defeat and kill said monster. All right. So without further ado, I think it's pretty simple here. Just League is taking the place of the Hunter. I think that's kind of obvious here. Now, will they have the weapons and the capabilities of the Hunter? No. They'll be going in with their own gear. You know, Aquaman has his trident, Wonder Woman has her sword and shield, Cyborg has his tech, Batman has his own gadgets, but he will be able to use things like ballistas and, you know, dragonators that are in the area, because again, that is part of the environment or the fortress that they're in here. So without further ado, yeah, I think that does it, and we're going to scale the league here. Now, with Superman, there is some pretty powerful scaling here. I've seen people get them all the way to planetary, but they've also said that it's very contentious here. The reason why they say this is because the Blue Beetle movie came out way before Black Adam, and yes, The Rock is a producer, but he had no idea about this movie, and he doesn't even deem Shazam canon to Zack Snyder's DCEU, so it's very hard to say what he was really talking about by the most powerful being in the universe. But again, it was pertaining to Superman. Now, Superman easily is around the multi-continental levels of strength and power here. This is because he scales to a Steppenwolf that was able to fight Doomsday, and the actual Doomsday, excuse me, and their fight pretty much shattered Krypton's moon to the point where they flat out overpowered even the moon's gravitational pull, because the pieces never came back to it. So yeah, they should easily be multi-continental. Wonder Woman easily has island level of attack potency, as she would scale to a weakened Zeus, which was able to defeat Ares. And this weakened Zeus was able to create the island of Themyscira. You could also say she might be a better fighter, or sorry, not might be. She's definitely a better fighter than Superman, and her weapons allow her to cut through Kryptonian or Kryptonian-like entities like Doomsday, who was made off of Zod's body. Wonder Woman also has her sword, as I just described earlier, excuse me. She also has her shield and the lasso of truth, which is able to restrain characters like Doomsday and being able to temporarily hold off Steppenwolf here. Now, let's go over the homie, Aquaman. Aquaman, you could actually consider the second strongest member of the Justice League here. This is because he scales to Carathan. It should be actually stronger than what he was in the first movie here in Aquaman the Lost Kingdom, considering how he's like casually thrashing around his opponents and stuff here. He should be a lot stronger as well here, since he also has the Trident of Adelan, which also can wield lightning, allows him to communicate with every creature to the point where he's able to even control the trench, which I even think stated was never before done. And he's even able to take attacks from the Carathan, as I stated earlier, who's able to breach the seafloor, which is a country level feat. And Aquaman should be much stronger than when he took those attacks here, so he should be around the continental margins. Now, Cyborg really isn't too impressive here. He's mainly been staggering people as so far, staggering Steppenwolf, staggering excuse me, staggering Superman and stuff like that. And that's honestly all he's been doing in both the Zack Snyder and the Josh Whedon version. Now, the Flash here, or we should honestly say Reverse Flash, if you guys know, if you guys know, you know. Flash can actually punch at light speed here, but he's actually afraid to do so because he would probably kill somebody. This may mean he's also able to do the infinite mass punch, since he's having to move at certain speeds here to build up the mass of a white dwarf star. Flash is also capable of time traveling, and due to a side effect of it, of repeated time traveling, he's able to destroy the multiverse. Keep in mind, this is a repeated, and this is pretty much causing an after effect of his time traveling. So Flash would not scale to multiverse in any way, but if he time travels enough times and tries to prevent a certain event from happening, he would eventually destroy that multiverse. So yeah, let's begin. Now remember, this is the DCEU Justice League versus the Monster Hunter verse here, and each monster will have their own respective scaling, as each monster is individually powerful, and if not more powerful than the first one. Now, the first monster we have to start off with is Lao-Shan Lung, as he is one of the first signs of the coming of Fatalis. Minus the weather chains and the absence of Elder Dragons, we do know that Lao-Shan Lung is one of the first signs of Fatalis here. He basically runs, or somewhat sort of runs all the way to this fortress. We need to bring this back and definitely have this man running. I think that would actually be pretty scary here. But he runs all the way to this fortress trying to get away from Fatalis. And the best you can actually do for him in this situation is actually repel him. So the league is actually going to have to follow the rules here and repel him here. Now, Lao-Shan Lung actually has some pretty decent and pretty high scaling here, easily scaling to the likes of moon level pretty easily. And this is actually because of his scales here. Now, you see, Lao-Shan Lung's scales here are just as strong, if not just as durable, as a flying wyvern's shell. Now, keep in mind, this is just talking about flying wyverns in general, all right? So this means we have a plethora of ways of scaling this here. And believe it or not, you can easily scale this up to moon level, or and you could possibly even get this higher if you use Monster Hunter stories. You see, monsters like Gold Rathians are actually able to create black holes, flash black holes, mind you, with even black holes, I think even the size of a dime, still having more mass than the planet. So again, you can easily get that. And again, you have the hunter being able to fight against these kind of monsters on a regular basis and killing them here. And again, the guild is very much aware of all of these monsters and all these flying wyverns here. So there's no reason to state that there's no reason to doubt that their statement is true. Because again, the guild and all these researchers are pretty much putting these statements to these monsters. And again, we do have Elder Dragon level flying wyverns pretty easily. Espinas, Dread King, Silver Rathalos, Gold Rathian, Lucent Nargacuja, and stuff like that all would be in that category. And Lao-Shan Lung is more durable than them, or as durable as them, and their toughest parts, or is just as durable. Excuse me, I'm a little tired. Just as durable as their shells, which again is their toughest part. So again, Lao-Shan Lung, easily moon level. Now let's talk about how they do this. Now I definitely think Batman giving access to the base and stuff there is definitely going to be using things like the Dragonators, definitely like pumping, or at least trying to ignite them and stuff like that here. He's definitely using Dragonators, definitely using the ballistas and stuff like that. And he's actually going to be a key player here because I think he's actually going to be the strategist. Now, Lao-Shan Lung is a pretty interesting fight in where he doesn't really do too much attacking, but again, you could still die from his attacks here. So he's still a pretty powerful dragon at the end of the day here. Now, Lao-Shan Lung, I think should have fire breath. I'm not very sure. Again, it wasn't really stated in his powers and capabilities. I may have to look that up again, but we do know he is a physically powerful elder dragon in his own right, and if not one of the strongest elder dragons, even being above the likes of Nergigante and Primordial Malzeno. Now, again, very contentious here, but you still have these kind of monsters just rampaging, destroying these fortresses and stuff, which are sometimes made out of the bones of elder dragons, or ancient elder dragons, excuse me. Now, Wonder Woman and Aquaman kind of take the place as the hunters here, but I actually do see them using their lasso and sorry, Diana using her lasso, and Aquaman likely using his trident as kind of like a base here in order to kind of like pull back Lao-Shan Lung. And then Cyborg would probably be on the aerial offense, just pelting him until Batman's able to get the Dragonators ready. Now, Flash might also be in the base here because I don't think his attack potency would honestly affect him here. And Flash has done rapid punches in the DCEU comics to where his hands were broken. I don't think that's a very smart decision here. Now, with that combination, plus with Superman likely pretty much pushing him back physically, I think Superman could at least somewhat contend with a Black Dragon here. Or sorry, a Elder Dragon of this magnitude, I should say here. And with Flash rapidly, igniting and fueling the Dragonators, any cannons within the facility as well, and with Batman definitely using them and using the ballistas to actually get through it here, I think the Justice League would get through this only with mid difficulty and with no casualties here. Now, this is where we can actually have some fun here and speculate how the Justice League is actually going to battle a Black Dragon here, and we're going to have to talk about Miralis. And in all honesty, this is very, very dangerous for the league already here. You see, Miralis is in this water for a reason, to keep itself cool. But again, he is still a living, walking, and breathing volcano here. You see, Miralis has the ability to basically shoot out these lava balls, and then they just kind of like come back as meteors. So he's no joke, and he's still able to breathe magma, and he's a walking apocalypse, casually sinking ecosystems, which can range from islands to even like supercontinents even. Yeah. So again, he's devastatingly powerful. And again, he would also have that scaling I provided for Lao-Shan Lung, since he's above him. Now, Aquaman is actually going to be useless in this fight, and unfortunately, he really can't get close here. I'm not even sure if Flash can get close, because I'm not sure if his attacks are really going to do anything. I mean, he might be able to vibrate through and disrupt something, but again, he's vibrating through a Black Dragon, excuse me, that has magma in its system, and that might get him killed here. And then Aquaman's useless here because of the oceans here. You see, Miralis in his arena is boiling those waters. Like, those waters are like at boiling temperatures here. I don't think Aquaman would really want to be in that at all. And in all honesty, Diana and Cyborg are kind of vulnerable here. And Cyborg's attack potency kind of just goes out the window, as he's not really providing anything to really damage him. Wonder Woman and Superman are definitely going to be the key players here, with Batman, Aquaman, and maybe even Cyborg kind of being on the sidelines. I think Cyborg would be more active in the fight here because he can actually do something. Aquaman could probably call a sea creature in, but he would probably note that the water is too hot, to where if any creature gets close to him, he gets boiled alive. And again, this will go for Aquaman as well here. So honestly, it just looks bad for the league entirely. If they had a weather manipulator, they would probably win here. So if I added someone like Cyclone, but again, she probably wouldn't make a difference because she doesn't have the same capabilities as someone like Storm. So in all honesty, the league is really gonna have to hinge on Superman and Wonder Woman. And again, Flash would probably be the only person playing like safety net or keep away. But again, I doubt he'd be able to save everyone from all those meteors, and if not, run into one himself. Because again, this Flash is still kind of not really high in the battle IQ department. Not saying he's stupid, but when it comes to a fight, he's just simply not there. He's not in the same category as someone like Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Batman, and even Cyborg. In all honesty, Cyborg would have a higher battle IQ than he does. So honestly, it comes down to Superman, and I actually could see a situation where Diana may get melted or taken out, or at least somewhat incapacitated, and Superman has no other choice to take her sword, which I think should be resistant to the temperatures, and using his super speed, and has to drive it through Miralis at astonishing speeds here. So Yeah, with that being said here, I could definitely see 3 or 4 of the members of the leagues dying. But with Superman, Wonder Woman, and even if you want to say Aquaman as well, Superman could probably take his trident along with Diana's sword and shove it through him. Yeah, they should have it. Now, here's where I think the league actually stops here. And it's going to be Safi'jiiva, the Elder Dragon who could pretty much devastate everything. And again, he's an infant stage black dragon. I know I said Elder Dragon, excuse me. But yeah, this baby or this teenage black dragon here is can one shot both Lao-Shan Lung and possibly even one shot die Miralis. His claws are so sharp that they're capable of cutting the soul out of somebody here, meaning he can attack on an astral level here. Keep in mind, this is from its baby stage, which is Xeno'jiiva. I know, it's absolutely insane, ain't it? And Safi'jiiva was not only meant to rival Fatalis, but was going to have a turf war with Alatreon, basically building up all that energy here throughout multiple levels of the area, and was building up that energy to have a turf war with Alatreon that would have likely destroyed the entire planet. And again, I'm not going into the heavy lore stuff where these elder dragons and black dragons can be like solar system to universal to complex multiversal. And then again, Safi'jiiva has this teardrop, which can one shot anything. And the Admiral even stated that he doesn't think anything can survive that. Keep in mind, this includes Elder Dragons and possibly even other members of the Black Dragon family. Now, again, the only way I could probably see this happening is if Flash does go back in time, or see the league written by Flash going back in time, telling everyone what just happened, because again, he probably is the only one fast enough to escape here, and the league comes up with a plan by Batman. Keep in mind, this does mean they had to press Safi'jiiva throughout every single layer over and over and over again, and they would have to try and get him to not get away. But again, that teardrop and that fire breath could essentially one shot a lot of them here. Now, again, the league is definitely faster and more agile than Safi'jiiva. But again, that's not to say that Monster Hunter doesn't reach FTL capabilities at all. But in all honesty, if they don't stop at Safi'jiiva, they're definitely stopping at Alatreon. Alatreon's very wings cut through space like a hot knife through butter. This is the same Alatreon who has the power to scare that of the gods. The same gods who created the stars, the Earth itself, even the moon, which already you could even say is like dwarf star level, planetary, multi-solar system to galaxy even. And again, that's me just lowballing it. You just have the sheer fact that Alatreon is just way more powerful and he possesses the dragon element, which can nullify everything that the League does, even sealing away their powers. And in all honesty, Eschaton Judgment is kind of a GG. And again, it would have to rely on Flash going back in time and changing it. But again, that's just kind of delaying the inevitable here. And you can't say, oh, well, Flash can go back in time and just kill them as a child. He would have to know the age and date that these black dragons were born, and even the guild doesn't know that because they're so far removed from the tree of life that you would have to go back probably millions, if not billions of years, and Flash would have to navigate the entire planet for what the first black dragon was. So in all honesty, does the League complete the Black Dragon saga? And in all honesty, I'm gonna have to say no. I definitely think they stop at Safi'jiiva here. And if not, they're definitely stopping at Alatreon. So they complete 2 out of the 5 missions, which isn't really good. But hey, that's going to be all for today, you guys. Please comment down below, like and subscribe and share with your friends. This is Legendary Grimlock, and I hope y'all have a blessed day.